commentary as we have a clash of the Premiership North. Two former Midlands 1 rivals, the Warwick Wolves, taking on the Nottingham Trent University Renegades. My name is Tebbs. I am joined by Ben Harris.
Hi everybody.
And we are ready for what is going to be an absolutely scintillating showcase. Now these two teams, I believe Ben has a stat line from 2016 was the last time?
Yep, 2016 was the last time these two didn't meet in the league, year where NTU went up. So it's probably, I think, the longest continual current rivalry divisionally every year since they've met, every year since they've been up there, top 2 or 3 in each division, pushing each other, you know, minimum 4 and 4s, 5 and 3s, 6 and 2s, so it's always been good games, competitive, two very strong teams.
And last year, the NTU Renegades, on their way to a undefeated regular season, beat the Warwick Wolves twice. And obviously, they are the team that won the Division 1 North last year, and therefore were promoted. However, as we know, due to the National League and Leeds Beckett, Durham Saints, Nottingham Gold and Loughborough all going up, we had to pull some people up from Div 1, and Warwick, just due to their consistency, was one of those sides, and this is the first meeting of these two teams in the Prem.
Yeah, and I think it was well deserved for Warwick. They have been consistent. They've always had difficult teams in their division that have just taken them off that top spot, be it Loughborough the couple of years they were in there, NTU, Sheffield Hallam when they got slid in there as well, but they've always competed with those top teams at that level.
And I tell you what a great turnout it is here for the Warwick Wolves. Over 300 tickets sold in, British American football's biggest arena.
Yeah, it's a special time. I remember being at Birmingham when we had Explosion, and it's that thing that makes it that little bit more special when especially if you're starting the sport, you're new to the sport, you see fans behind you, you're making noise, and all of a sudden the noise is coming from behind you as well. It makes it that little bit more special, so it should be a really good event.
So since 2019, the Nottingham Trent University Renegades hold a record of 5-3 over the Warwick Wolves, and 108 days since the Warwick Wolves last tasted victory over their rivals in pink. And you are going to be saying, well, Teb, that uniform that Warwick are wearing, that looks pretty familiar. Yes, that is the Tamworth Phoenix jerseys. Just in order to get some of the numbers a bit more visible for Warwick is what I was told, but I tell you what, we've got an absolutely classic colour rush game here.
Oh, yeah.
As we've got bright pink versus bright orange. You'll be able to see all the football, I'll tell you that.
1,000,000%. Although I will say number 83 on the Warwick sideline seems a little confused as he is wearing black and everyone else is in orange.
He is wearing the regular Warwick jersey, so Warwick are going to be kicking this ball off. And one thing you will see as well in Uniball, a very good mix and match of helmet colours. Yeah. Got some blue. I think there's like a cardinal red on the NTU sideline as well.
Yeah, Manchester Titan one on that NTU pitch as well.
Oh, if that was the same guy wearing the Manchester Titans leathers last year, dangerous.
Yes,
he is absolutely dangerous. We covered this game last year, Warwick at home. NTU barely getting a victory there, but a victory nonetheless, which was strange because the week before they faced off and NTU had a much greater lead.
And I think, look at NTU's pursuit towards the title obviously fell slightly short against Exeter last year, who were phenomenal, but I feel like them testing themselves in the division against top teams helped them when it then came to the playoffs. There's a few divisions where some of the top teams were coming out and they had maybe only had a game against another really top team, and it showed. I potentially would argue Leeds felt that last year.
I completely agree with you in regards to Leeds. Leeds, for me, are the favourite to take.
Yeah, they look great.
To take not only the Northern Prem, but I personally think it all.
Oh, interesting.
And the last team to beat the Leeds Griffins was the NTU Renegades in the playoffs last year. 32-22 as the Wolves look to kick it away.
Here we go.
So get ready for this game. And a good kick travelling over to the left. And it's going to be returned. It's converging, but number 49 of the Wolves is there.
Nice pursuit.
And grabbing a hold.
Oh, it's getting a touch spicy in there already.
You can tell both of these teams, they're already fired up. They can see, they can hear the crowd. And it's mega.
So yeah, we'll see this NTU offense up first.
So obviously last year it was, very, very well broadcast, especially due to his very good YouTube videos that we did, like Chris Venegas, the QB.
Indeed.
For them last year, from America. There is something out there that some people said, it wasn't me that said it, that he was a key part of it.
Here we go, pass first down.
Pick. Oh, and it's a pick for Warwick!
It could be a
and
pick
it's
six.
going all the way!
Wow!
Touchdown!
Wow!
Warwick!
What a way to start. Jeez, what a way to go. Pick 6. That is madness. First play of the game. Just didn't see him coming across the middle. Throwing that out ball and he just jumped it. Woo, wow. What a way to go early doors. Well, what a way to start. And that crowd, got that crowd going as well.
I mean, what a way to start off what is probably going to be one of the biggest games of, Warwick Wolves this season with this crowd and a pick there. Who was it, number 20 or number 50?
You're asking me like I wasn't getting super hyped about that it was the first play of the game. I apologise.
Unfortunately, I had to grab a water bottle. It hurt me too much that I was almost sick.
I love the kicking walk-up for this kicker.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, this bend beforehand. But I tell you what, if it works...
Oh, someone's car's getting it. And the Warwick Wolves, there is no better start in football than what the Warwick Wolves have just had. Because that is going to completely demoralise the NTU sideline.
Yeah, and do you know what? It's a big deal as well, because when you have obviously kick-off and you're trying to work out possessions, that initial possession is key on coming out of the gate and then coming out of half-time. And basically now, Warwick have almost claimed, because they'll get the first possession of the second half as well, and they're able to dominate both sides of that half-time and the start of the game. So yeah, hella play. Be interesting to see how NTU come back now. I mean, they've got an experienced enough coaching staff to be able to pull them in and say, look, one play, first play, don't stress, we'll just go again. And it is only one play, but what a play.
But what a play. Now, put it to this, it's such a dynamic play there. The scoreboard here in BUCS Park hasn't actually caught up to the fact that the Warwick Wolves are now 7 points ahead. Again, we will try and maybe a bit of names there, but generally, ladies and gentlemen, I got so hyped that I genuinely started to be sick. So, it seems like deja vu, like we were just here a matter of moments
like
ago.
Say, the scoreboard is also it's reflecting that, but yeah. This walk-up, he is a king. I love this walk-up.
He is dialed in. Number 52.
3, I think.
53.
Yeah, 53. There we go,
so
nice
it's
kick.
Going to basically the exact same spot where he kicked it just a few moments ago. It's going to be a better return than last time, but going out of bounds. What looks like the 35, I'm going to say.
Yeah, about the 35, which is a good return for Nottingham. It was probably about 8 to 10 yards ahead of where they started last time, so let's see what they can do.
So we've got Callum Robinson as the kicker there. 2 very good kicks. But realistically, now we've got to see what the NTU Renegades can do, because there really is no worse start. Maybe if the ball is snapped over your head, Peyton Manning Super Bowl style. So it's going to be a run up the middle.
Yeah.
And Warwick ripping him down to the floor. Looks to me to be a gain of 3.
Yeah, and a smart play, settle the nerves. I understand why they potentially went to the air on that first down last time, but In this one, you really just want to get some positive yards for that NTU offense and really get that last play out of their heads.
I mean, because it happened so quickly, it's very easy to just go, okay.
Yeah.
We're starting by that. Maybe if there's any betting people on the NTU side, they've now got a -7 handicap.
Indeed.
So it's fine.
There we go, run up the middle again. Oh, and he's broken it.
Oh, keeps on going. And I love the tenacity here from Warwick. They're going for that ball straight away. They're hungry for it. It doesn't matter, they're 7 points up.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, both of these teams have got something to prove.
100%.
I feel like all of these teams, I'd say personally, bar NTU and Leeds, we deserve to be up here in the Prem. Bar NTU, seriously, they're still king of the castle. They're still king of the castle.
Yeah, absolutely. But also both of these teams will be probably already sick of hearing that they're potentially going to be second fiddle to Leeds. So this is the time to prove that they can absolutely play with the big boys.
Obviously, Leeds currently 2-0, beating Warwick and beating Newcastle. Another handoff up the middle. That's going to be enough for
It is first down, yep.
Going to be enough for a first down. Looks like a gain of 4 on the play.
And you know what? Back-to-back plays. Run it pretty much exactly the same play 3 times in a row. And if it's working, so many offensive coordinators can be teased into changing things even if they are working. Whereas, they've decided that'll work for us. Running straight up the middle, if we can get these 3 or 4 yards, that is exactly what they need.
So setting up here on the left hand.
Just waiting for that change to be sorted for the ball to be whistled in.
And at some point, we are going to get to some of the scores from around the league, because there are some pretty decent ones about. In fact, we've got some time here. We can shout out the alma mater of me and where I did meet Ben as a coach. The
Indeed.
Lincoln Colonials beat the ARU Siege 22-0. Sunderland, impressive performance against the Sheffield Sabres, 21-13. Lancaster Bombers, and at this point, I'm going to say my Lancaster Bombers, currently 18-0 up against.
There's a
Teal
hoodie
Crusade.
in your future for sure.
A hoodie in my future. The UEA Pirates have got the Essex Blades 42-8 as it stands.
That's a full-time score now.
It is a full-time, so UEA takes. They're now 1-1. The Brunel Burners shut out the Reading Knights, 54-0. But let's get back here to Butts Park. Strong line, so it's going to be a run to the right. 28 of NTU. Lots of horizontal running.
Yeah.
I think maybe a gain or 2 there.
It's a nice cut, but well defended by Warwick. Good aggressive to the ball, forced it to spill outside, and then closed on it quickly when he cut upfield. Nice play from both teams, really. And I think they've given it as a yard. Not even, a yard.
So Ibatoy, the running back for the NTU Renegades, getting the majority of the plays so far today. So we do have a Warwick Wolf down.
God, it's going to be hard for me to not say Tamworth.
It's a great kit, though.
Yeah.
It's almost reflectively orange.
Yes, blindingly orange.
And I'll tell you what, this wasn't their only game to happen in Coventry this afternoon. I'll tell you what, this is going to be one that we're going to be talking about on the rundown tomorrow. Coventry Jets 6, Nottingham Green 12.
Yeah, and I popped in there before I came over here, and up till midway through the third quarter, it was Coventry 6-0 up, and then a blocked punt followed by an interception allowed Nottingham to come back into the game. But yeah, still a very close, very competitive game. Both defences on top, and it just took a couple of special teams plays and a good interception for Nottingham to take it, but much closer than I think some people thought.
So Rafael Adamola helped off to the sideline. 2nd and 9 for NTU. We're going to see a throw here. Ball is up. Oh, and batted away there. Number 62 of the Warwick Wolves with a great play.
And you know what? That was a really nice play by the DB, because people are often looking for how physical DBs are allowed to be, and you can gauge that early on with the refs. And he had hands on, but he didn't influence the release of the receiver too much in terms of once the ball was in the air. And it's just a very competitive play. And now you know what the refs are going to be like. You know how much you can get away with or not get away with as a DB.
Mason Hussein there, stopping a huge chunk of yardage from the NTU Renegades. Josh Dudley Holt, the QB in, and he's going to have to do some work here as NTU have got a 3rd and 9.
Warwick
Dudley
sending
Holt is
pressure.
looking.
And
A huge sack! And the Warwick Wolves sideline goes absolutely nuts. Slava Khan, number 74, finds Dudley Holt for a huge TFL.
Yeah, great sack. They obviously lined up the pressure. They showed pressure inside and then sent in pressure both inside and outside off the edge. And yeah, well done. Great sack.
I mean, this is going exactly the way the Warwick Wolves want it to go so far.
Absolutely.
Any update on SGS versus Cardiff? We don't at the minute. When there's a bit more dead air, we will have a gander, but we're probably just going to wait until this punt gets away for NTU. Crowd goes silent. Bit of a lofty snap, almost blocked by Warwick. It's going to be returned, but didn't quite have full control of the ball. But it's better to secure it and take the tackle than to fumble it. My voice keeps breaking on these streams. I'm not a fan. I don't know why.
Little update for you on Exeter Portsmouth. Portsmouth now 14-6 ahead.
Oh, Portsmouth are doing pretty good. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, when you see the next round of games that Sportank are doing, I'm saying hold on to your seat. That's on the edge of your seat, and I mean this. There are some games that are absolutely Scoville units through the roof.
Southampton take their first win of the season. That's a full-time result now.
Joking.
Southampton 6, Swansea 0.
Southampton beat Swansea. Good on you, Southampton.
It's now 28-13 Sheffield. They may be stretching that a little bit in the third quarter.
I really am going to have to get a Lancaster Bombers
You really
piece of merch, aren't I? Just literally like, they did a really nice graphic on Instagram that said, "This is my lock of the season." The Lancaster Bombers record is this. Everyone else in their division is this. They're going to win this division.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
That's my only lock, so.
I think, Lancaster, if you're watching, you should buy.
No.
If
So
you
it looks,
want him
so
to
it
be
looks like
on
there
the
was
board,
while we were too busy wrapping up the scores there was a penalty on that play as Nottingham will be re-kicking it. Again, a bit of a lofty snap, almost blocked again. There's going to be a block punt in this future. I really do see it. That ball is bouncing, and number 77 recovers it on the Warwick Wolves 40-yard line.
So good field position from Warwick. They'll be more than happy with that. Update as well from Sheffield Hallam. That's 0-0. Sheffield Hallam Leicester at half-time.
Noah Kowski there. Always got to shout out the number 77s in attendance, getting a recovery on a kick. I tell you what, when I wore number 77, I wouldn't be on special teams. So here we go. The Warwick Wolves 7 up. First time we've seen their offense today. So it's going to be a handoff, running right, bounces off one tackle, being chased around the outside. There's a lot of. I think it's only going to be a gain of 2, but good effort to stay on his feet.
I was going to say that man worked very hard for his 2 yards there.
It seems to be there was a fair few NTU Renegades in the backfield near, but the Warwick Wolves were very good at just getting in the way of them without having to.
It was almost like basketball pick and roll, just
100%. There was just people in the way. Sometimes that's all that matters. That's what they told me. Chris, just get in the way. So a screen out to the right, caught it in motion.
Nice play, good tackle though.
Tell you what, great tackle there by number 15 of the NTU Renegades. Luca Bindi just grabbed a big handful there.
And I feel like that's a play NTU are used to seeing potentially, or something they target, because they read that really quickly. The linebacker, the moment. But really nice tackle.
So it seems though NTU are looking to go, sorry, Warwick are trying to go a little bit quickly here, as they've got 2 receivers already set.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so now they're going to bring in.
Oh, fun.
Oh, here we
fun
go.
Little tush push. Oh.
It's a fake. It's a fake tush, but no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh my God.
You got faked by the fake.
I've been mugged off. Oh no.
Send him home. Send him home.
My credibility's in the bin. Pedro Rossi has completely mugged me off. Unbelievable stuff.
I like that little motion into the tush push, and then obviously they've got the
It was strange. I saw them repping this
halfback dive.
I saw this QB push repping it earlier today with the running backs coming in from the
outside.
outside.
Nice.
But it worked there.
Oh, there we go.
And a free play here. Going to number 8 for the Warwick Wolves. Obviously a flag of play, looks to be a gain of 4.
Yeah, so you'll take obviously the free play for the first down and 5. God, I tell you, Warwick have started strong. Obviously, pick 6 to go, good defensive play, and then
Edward Kaye, the running back, ex-GB under 19s.
Oh, nice.
And also London Blitz.
Ooh, yeah, good experience. Yeah, no, they really have put NTU on the back foot early doors, and it's. I don't know if can't say I wasn't expecting it. I didn't really know how the game would go, but it's yeah, it's been really good from Warwick for this first 6 or 7 minutes.
You know, I don't think NTU are out of this by any means.
No, God no, absolutely not.
It's 7-0, it's Q1. But I think there's got to be some level of shock and awe that the NTU Renegades are feeling from this hot start by especially the defense of the Warwick Wolves. So Rosselli rolls out to his right.
Oh, he's gonna go with it.
He's gonna go
with it.
And enough for a first down.
Nice. He's got some wheels. And what I loved as well is he was orchestrating his offense on the move. He was asking players to break or block. So rather than just putting his head down and going, I've got to run here now, he's actually trying to make plays happen on the run, which for me is the standout between an okay QB and a good QB at this level.
For me, I think it's that motion of the defense will register as get over there so I can throw it to you.
Yeah.
It's going to allow for those defenders to not drop back quite so much because they think a ball's coming their way and not a quarterback running slightly to the right of them.
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell you as a defensive coordinator myself, you're always looking for your players to play.
Oh, a bad snap there, but Rosselli has got it.
No, he's down.
He's just going to have to take it. Going to be a loss of about 6 on him there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always looking for your defense to play high to low effectively. So, you know, if he is orchestrating those receivers around him, you can't step up at that point because all he's going to do is dunk it over your head and there's the gain. So you've got to almost allow him to take that run, knowing that the moment he breaks the line of scrimmage, that's when you can come down and make a play.
And it could just be a case of it does happen, especially when you're a centre. Sometimes you get too excitable and you need to keep a level head.
Yes.
And snaps like that do unfortunately happen.
For sure.
So let's see, they've got a huge chunk of yardage to go. 15 in motion for them, but it's going to be a handoff to number 28. And missed one tackle by NTU, but he is swallowed up in the backfield. Yeah. And that is going to be another TFL for NTU.
Yeah, it was just too slow to develop there. They're sort of slowly trying to, I assume he was trying to find the cutback lane, but it was just never going to develop. And then once the players swarmed to the ball, it was, too slow, I think, there.
Again, Toby Brown, he did manage to get out of the way of one big tackle there from NTU, but just unable to beat the swarm of the Renegades, and it's going to be a third and a bus journey, as they say.
I do find it fascinating, having the receivers out and not in the huddle. I mean, I like it, and if they've got the way they call routes, then fair play, but it's different.
Okay, so Rosselli is looking. We're not surprised. He's going to roll out to his right, being pursued, and just overshoots his receiver. Alex Tolhurst just not tall enough to bring that ball in.
Go home. What a terrible joke.
Oh, you know you've got someone next to you now to call you out on your absolutely cheesy.
I will have you know, Ben, that my iconic line that I never got to use on you as number 99, scooping the ball and scoring, and said that's a flake, number 99. I got to use it last week at Reading.
Good.
Dough ball number 99 for Reading. It was called back, but
Hey, irrelevant. You
but-
used the line.
I did use the line, yeah. We've not yet had a hungry caterpillar. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's an easy read. So here we go. So they're going for it here. On the fourth and a lot. So Rosselli's got it. He's just going to bomb it. There's some space. Oh, unbelievable.
Oh, he got the separation, but just straight through his hands. Oh. Unlucky number 80. Who we got? Number
We're going
80.
to try and find him. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I love
there
having
we
number 80, Ollie Hildred there. Again, great to get the separation, but falling through his hands.
Yeah.
And we're going to see the NTU Renegades take over one more time. And they're 7-0 down here at BUCS Park.
And obviously NTU will be happy with that. They got the stop, but I think they'll be probably a little less happy that Warwick took so much time off.
So it's going to be a hand of running left, but got him by the back of the jersey. You've got to be happy with that if you're Warwick. Who was that number? 26 for the Wolves.
Warwick just so aggressive defensively. I love to see it in a defense. They're confident in their back four, so they're able to send 7 aggressively against the run. They're looking great.
Jamil Bokai Dunkwa getting there, and that's a huge, huge tackle for loss. And again, I'm so impressed with these Warwick Wolves. It just seems as though that NTU can't get anything going. So run middle, and again, stopped. There might just be a gain of just a single yard on that play.
Yeah, it was nice call sending 52 on the blitz. Just literally just side straight through the line and was able to come in behind and make that play. And as a DC, it's always fun when you call a play and it works to perfection, because you like to think that you did that on purpose, but you probably didn't.
Again, the NTU Renegades handing it off to Ibertoin. He's just unable to get anything again. And the Renegades are now facing a third, and to me, looks like a 15.
Yeah, 16, I think, 16.
So I imagine this will be going into the hands of Dudley Holt, and he's going to try and get it to the outside. And it certainly is. He's going to try and break the pocket, but just brought down. There was a bit of a flinch there, I think, from Dudley Holt.
Yeah, and once he tucked it, he was just looking for space. I think potentially once he slipped that initial pressure, he probably could have got his eyes back up, but I understand when you've got orange jerseys flying all around you, sometimes you just got to tuck it and protect the ball.
Might be quite. He very well may have a fear of traffic cones after this game.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. It's not that bad.
No, I'm telling you, it's all right, it's good.
4th and 13 is the call. We have seen the Warwick Wolves on both of the punts today get very, very close to blocking it. Very close. Because these snaps, better snap this time, less lofty.
Yeah, no,
and the ball is away. Going to drop at the
catch.
40.
Oh, and he's... Eventually you got it.
NTU might have this ball.
Oh, I tell you what.
I think they think
they've
do.
got it.
Well, I'm going to wait for a referee signal, and I think that might be.
I mean, it's
That might be Nowakowski, number 77 again.
the ref's giving it.
The first
NTU
one there.
ball.
And this is a huge, huge play for NTU. That ball just slipping through the hands of the returner of the Warwick Wolves. And now NTU are going to have this ball deep inside Warwick territory.
And do you know what? That's a really, really good teach tape lesson on what you can and can't do when the returner signals fair catch. So many teams and people think, all right, that's it, he's just going to catch it and we'll stop there. But you can absolutely get in his face, make it as hard as it's possible for him to catch that ball. As long as you don't make contact, you're absolutely able to apply that pressure, and that's exactly what they did.
Nowakowski doing 77's proud worldwide.
Absolutely.
By being able to rip that ball away and,
For sure.
and give NTU their biggest chance of
End
the
of the
day
quarter
so
as
far.
well.
So we're at the end of Q1
That's
here
quick.
at BUCS Park. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, uni ball, 12-minute quarters,
Yeah.
unbelievable stuff. So we're going to get to some of the other games. Have we got any other games that we have or have not got?
That's an updated score.
We don't know about this one. Well, the last time we checked, it was Durham were winning against Nottingham Gold 10-6.
I shall have a little look-see.
But in the Prem, the only other game we've got is the Portsmouth Destroyers currently leading Exeter 14-6 as
Nottingham now hold the lead 22-16. So yeah, that's Nottingham with the lead 22-16.
so Dudley Holt is looking. That's picked up again. The second interception of the day. And there's going to be a late hit out of bounds
as well on the sideline.
Oh, and it's getting spicy. It's spicy here in Warwick. And that man may have made himself a celebrity on campus. Stephen Deng with an interception on NTU's biggest chance of the day so far.
And just after all that, you know, the hard work to get that ball back and make that play, and to lose it like that. And I think the QB, he's seeing things just that little bit too late. So the play was there, and then he saw it was there, but by the time he then put the ball in the air, things have moved around, people have moved, and there's a pick right there.
And as the first quarter started, it's happened the exact same way as the second quarter as well. An interception for the Wolves, and they are going to be taken over. Referees having a chat about which I'm going to try and find. So Q3 is that one?
Q3, maybe Q4, but still playing.
So that Durham-Nottingham score, don't even worry about that. The one I just told you was a lie. Gold currently lead 22-16 over the Saints.
Here we go. Let's see if Warwick can actually take advantage of that second pick.
Again, the momentum is all orange at this point, but it's only 7-0. So here we go. Once again, having the receivers out there already. So Rosselli sending a man in motion, and it's going to be popped to number 15. He's going to have some space, but
nowhere near enough.
Does happen with these Jets where sometimes the outside man can get in the way slightly, and just that little bit more of outside the running back has got to run.
Yeah, and that
signals the end of the play.
Absolutely, and that's what the defense want to do. They want to force that back to belly out, because the time it takes for them to belly round one player, even if he doesn't make the tackle, it allows 2 or 3 other players to get over there and make their play.
Kofi Akuku there getting getting that. Another high snap. Rosselli's got it this time, and he's going to be running left. He's going to look to throw it. He's going to have some space, and Rosselli, what a run that was. I guess you could even say sensational. The high snap, sometimes this does happen in American football, more often than I think people would like.
Yeah.
A play breaks down, it does not go as designed, but hey, if the defense don't know, if you don't know what you're doing, the defense definitely don't know what you're doing. And I think that was prime there for another Rosselli run.
Yeah, and Rosselli's got wheels. Like, you know, he managed to reverse the field and gain 15 yards.
So it's going to be another handoff. Oh, and just met in the backfield. Oh, fantastic blitz in there by NTU.
I think what seems to be sort of semi-undoing the NTU defense so far is Rosselli sort of playing on the fly, effectively. When it's a straightforward play, be it the jet, inside, outside run, whatever it is, they seem relatively competent. They're handling that pretty well. But it's when he is flipping and reversing the field and orchestrating plays, that's when they seem to be maybe struggling a little more.
So going to end up being, I'm going to say, a 2nd and 14? No,
yeah.
15. It's 15. 2nd and 15 here for the Wolves. 7-0 up on a pick 6. So Rosselli is looking for one.
And that corner's there, but...
Oh, wow, what a grab. Kofi Akuku there with a great catch there.
Yeah, nice. Run like a deep out concept there. And it's interesting, NTU's box is really tight. They're playing a 4-4, but the two outside backers are really quite tight in, and so it's exposing potentially their back three, especially with the free safety was playing quite far over as well.
So here we go. They're going back to that QB sneak special formation. They've got 2 yards to go.
Oh, they jumped.
Oh. Hey, it worked last time, but those plays are tricky. But they're going to be going back to 3rd and 7.
(14-6) Portsmouth half time.
Okay.
Which I thought was Q3, so that shows how much I'm following it.
Well, we're trying to do lots of things here. So Roselli's looking flag on the play. Flags are flying already. So it's going to be on Warwick again. And they've gone from a 3rd and very, very manageable with 2 yards to go to now finding themselves back behind the sticks of whence they came.
It's funny how quickly penalties can just completely screw up a drive.
So we've seen Roselli work his magic. Can he do it here?
Maybe.
Hey, it stopped before. And he's got it. And he's going to keep pushing.
Oh, no, they've said he stepped out of bounds.
They said he stepped out of bounds, but wouldn't that have been absolutely spectacular?
Yeah, absolutely.
But now at least it brings up an interesting point now, because it is 4th down. We have seen Warwick go for it on 4th before and be successful.
4th and 4, 4th and 5.
And it looks to me, it doesn't seem to be any Warwick Wolves players.
No, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go for it here. You know,
perfect. We got Chris Venegas. He is in.
Yeah.
We knew you'd be here, Chris. We knew you would be here. Chris, the QB for NTU last year, and we loved his YouTube content there as well.
Indeed.
Another bit of a lofty snap there. Roselli's being chased down, and the
the
ball is out.
Oh, they've said knee down. They've said knee down.
Oh. So, realistically, only a few yards gained on that if they would have just had a turnover on downs, but still good for NTU. They're going to be taking it slightly in their own half.
And I was going to say the Warwick QB have obviously been learning from watching NTU last year and Chris, because he's dancing around just as much as Chris did at times last year.
That's it. He might have a Venegas jersey hanging up in his
maybe
in his room. So here we go.
It's still only 7-0. You know, Warwick have played a hell of a game, but it's still only 7-0.
Bit of a low snap there, but it's a handoff up the middle and just immediately swamped there. Two interceptions on the day for Josh Dudley Holt. One obviously going back 4-6. But again, if both of those went in for a touchdown, you could probably, flip the panic switch slightly.
Yeah.
7-0, we're in Q2, let's be honest. And we can see
more game.
There's a lot more game left to play. Better snap this time. Getting it out, throwing it into some heavy traffic. And unable to find his receiver there. Obviously, there are a fair few Renegades representing their senior ball teams. Obviously, there's some C's on the helmet for the Caesars, who they very well may have played on this field, just a few months ago.
Yeah, potentially. NTU they really seem to be struggling for consistency. They'll have one half-decent pass or a couple of decent runs, but it's more often than not ended up on the floor or tackle for loss or at the line of scrimmage. It's interesting.
Dudley Holt is looking for another big bomb, but again thrown into traffic and knocked away. Number 27 there for the Warwick Wolves, getting his hand to the ball. I want that music absolutely scared the life out of me, if you can believe it.
It sounded like someone's phone.
It did, it really, really did. Finn Honeyman.
And 14 for NTU, turning receiver to DB there. Actually ended up knocking that ball away for stopping that third pick from happening.
So, 4th and 11, and the Renegades punting unit comes out again. Much better than the first two. And that is going to take an NTU bounce. Oh. So at the 15-yard line is where...
Yeah, and it's probably the worst field position Warwick have had all game. Get some consistency and start driving up the field.
I do worry there could be just a sense that because of how well it's sort of going on defense for Warwick, potentially getting overconfident here. Because it's still 7-0, and the way that the defense...
They really, you would have hoped they would have been able to capitalise on some of the...
Right, we're running left, sorry. But again, we've seen it before with Warwick. Lots of running. There was a lot of movement and a lot of running on that play, but that's going to be a loss of 3.
Yeah, exactly that. And the NTU defense are doing exactly what they should be doing. It's interior guys spilling the ball, forcing the running back to take a long time to get back to the line of scrimmage, which allows other players to get around, and they're swarming to it.
13 for the Wolves. So Roselli's going to roll out, and interesting there, he had 2 potential receivers in the area.
Yeah, very close to each other. And yeah, I know what you were saying before. I agree. I think Warwick really needed to turn some of their early momentum into points because the NTU are still very much in this game. But the thing is, both sides have got very experienced coaching staffs, and so they'll keep them level-headed. They'll keep them in the game in terms of understanding what their focus is. But Warwick really needed to probably have capitalised.
So going back to that receiver, not in the huddle-based offense. Bit of a high snap. Roselli bounces off his hand, and he's got it, and just fires it into the middle of the field. No one really around. Very much a rocket arm there, but just no one in the area. And 4th and 13.
Like he was running a drag across to hit him in stride, but NTU had 2 players around, and if you're trying to thread the needle like that, it's probably a good thing that it just went over his head and for a incomplete pass. Ben Harrison back to return it for NTU, and the punter for Warwick starting in their own end zone. Never where you want to be. Doing some squats, making sure he's low. Ball almost goes over his head. Not the best kick in the world, and that's going to have... good bounce for them, though. So that is going to still reside within the Warwick Wolves half, but just barely. Yeah. I tell you what, I've never seen someone lean back as they're punting. Do you know what I mean? He's great. Honestly, Warwick's kicker is awesome. Like, if the Warwick Wolves punter rotated anymore... Oh, that's mad. So Stirling beat Edinburgh 10-8. Oh, nice. Full-time score? I think, yes. I think if the Warwick Wolves punter rotates anymore, it'll be sort of like Pele. Yeah, absolutely. So, setting up here on the 44 of the Wolves. Trips right for NTU. Dudley Holt throws it out. Screen. And he's managed to find someone. Flag on the play, though. Keeps on going. 2 flags on the play. Kingsley Ike on the reception there, but we've got to see
how these flags are going to affect the distance.
Yeah, so I thought holding NTU, but then I don't know whether whether it'll be up. No, I think it's going to be NT against NTU. I think it's double holding effectively. There we go.
Yeah. So a great is going to be wiped away, and they're going to be going backwards.
Screens are always easy when you hold.
This is really is the problem, isn't it? It's the same as when the QB shambles out. You're just like, no, don't. You're so ready to say, don't touch my QB.
Yeah, absolutely. Trips left this time for NTU.
Oh, looking out the way again. Harrison has got it, and Harrison's a big man, and those off of him. Gain of 5 on the play.
Yeah, they're definitely going to their screen a little bit more now. There's a little tunnel screen inside, and like you say, they're targeting Ben Harrison as that bigger player, trying to use his athleticism to get those yards after the catch. Also, if you just remove the sun from his name, then he's got the best name around. So.
Yeah, brilliant.
Come on now.
That's a good joke, actually. That's mad. I can't believe that's just happened. So, second and... I think I said 5 on that play. I think that's a 2nd and 16 by the looks of things to me. So it's going to be a handoff running left. And that was a big combination of tackles there for the Wolves.
Yeah, there was a delayed handoff unintentionally, and I think it slowed down the play, and then just really good force, outside contain play from the Wolves, got there quickly. Shut it down for, probably maybe a loss of half a yard. So, yeah, definitely 3rd and 17 now, I think. And it's a shame because NTU probably, this should have been a really promising place for them. They're starting inside the Warwick's half for the second time. They're definitely attacking Warwick with trips now. Trips to the right.
So Crab as the running back. Dudley Holt is looking, just throws it off. That was a great catch, and it was almost... I think if that defender got his head round slightly a bit quicker, we could be talking about the 3rd interception of the day for Dudley Holt, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. Souche, number 14 for NTU, brings it in, but it's going to be nowhere close enough for a Renegades first down.
Yeah, and like I said, that whole drive they were going to screens, bubbles, tunnel screens, that kind of thing, and with more success in terms of catches and moving the ball forward, but just that holding call, Treg taking the back. I mean, screens are great. You can find those explosive plays out of them, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be clicking for NTU this game so far.
So I will say, just in how speedy this game is going, that was the 2-minute warning.
Jeez. Oh, he's going for a return.
Reception there, breaks one, going round to the right, and getting stopped out. I'm going to say the 29. So 2 minutes left on the clock for Warwick. They've got all their timeouts. So do NTU, and we are yet to see an offensive touchdown yet today.
Yeah, and ball will start on the 29. Like you say, inside 2 minutes. You've got your three timeouts. But Warwick know that they will have the ball to start the second half as well, so they can afford potentially to give it a shot first down. If they don't get it, first couple of downs, and then you can run it out knowing they'll take the ball back to start the second half.
Again, it really does feel like it could just be because we're in a very pro-Warwick audience and dropped.
That's yeah. And they're trying to attack that. Like I say, NTU running this 4-4, 4-2-5 looking scheme, but because their outside backers are so tight, the flats are definitely there to be hit. But I think that's maybe, I wouldn't say maybe it's the second drop for 15, but yeah, that's a real drop.
A big drop there from Akuko. It's going to be a run up the middle. Good a bit of yardage, maybe 6, maybe even 7. I'm going to say that is going to be a 7-yarder there. Clock is ticking away.
Yeah, I think maybe Warwick are happy to let this clock run out, he says, as they're going quickly.
They're going quickly. They're going back to that QB sneak.
Oh no, number 3 is exiting the wrong side of the field. That's going to be a flag if they notice it.
It is. So a flag from the official on our side, and you can see that there's some annoyance from the players because I think they realise.
3's trying to blend in with the pylon.
Yeah, he is. You know what? I don't know what the referee's action for this particular penalty would be.
No, I'm not 100% what the penalty is for that penalty, but yeah. Unfortunately, number 3 is not able to transfer universities mid-game.
And number 3 has found himself back on his proper sideline.
Yeah, it's one of those relatively nuanced rules that if you're not, if you've not been in a game very long, someone tells you to get off the pitch, you find the nearest sideline and do it. So I can completely understand why he did that. But
if someone's been around the game, the last place you want to be when you're playing a game of football is on the opposing team's sideline.
Absolutely.
So you can see there's obviously a discussion going on in regards to what is going to happen. But again, one of the more interesting penalties we see or potentially have not seen.
Yeah, that'll march Warwick back. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. Obviously still 3rd down, but like I say, with them having the clock and the possession to start the second half, I feel like they might just maybe another run and then punt and see if they can.
So once again, a 3rd and pretty manageable has become a 3rd and long, 5 yards.
Yeah, and I want to see all the tricks that are coming out of that formation. It looks like they've got, they add you on the fake. I want to see the QB run with it.
100%. I want to be hurt again, Ben. I want to be hurt again. So 3rd and 7 now for the Warwick Wolves. They don't want to give this ball back to NTU. Roselli, gets out of the way. Did the ball touch the floor? He's got to just throw it away, man. That landed in the field of play, I think.
I am beyond. So the ball, I'm very confident, touched the floor.
So am I. It seemed as though Roselli thought that he was tackled.
Yeah.
He thought it was all over. And he put the ball down. But it was not over. I think that the momentum of both of those NTU Renegades defenders coming in at the same time, basically they both took themselves out, and Roselli didn't quite realise that he was still horizontal, vertical even.
He almost used the ball to pivot. He put the ball down as a balancer and then pivoted round to then find his angle to try and break out. But whatever he did, it's 4th down and 8.
So a bit late for Warwick there to bring on their punting unit, I feel, especially because the clock has stopped.
I think they were probably just as confused as we were.
So punter taking a good stance.
Couple of squats.
He's ready for it. He's got it. Bounce off his hands. Oh no! This could be amazing for NTU.
Huge.
This is massive for the Renegades. Just unable to get control of that ball. Enough to get it away, and the Renegades are going to be taken over on the 15-yard line. However, we have seen the NTU Renegades get this close before, and result of the play, interception.
Correct, and I think this is where, if NTU do score here, when Warwick really, really have to be frustrated with not being able to turn their first half pressure into points.
I really do think if NTU managed to score on this drive, that's a huge sigh for NTU.
Screen again. But well read.
Unable, breaks one, meets another, trying to cut back around, and he is cutting back round, and a huge block.
Maybe.
This is. I don't see any yellow flags.
No, nor do I. I would have maybe said blindside, but I suppose the refs seem to have let it go.
And we've got some of the Warwick old boys just to the left of us. They are very, very unhappy. But there's no flags on the play I can see, and Kingsley Ike has just maybe wrapped off one of the most important plays for NTU today.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was a great reversal of the field. Broke a couple of tackles and saw his offensive line kind of looking at him and went, "I'm going this way, boys, sort me out." And they did. They did a great job.
But it's going to be a gain of 4, but at the end of the day, this is as close as NTU has been to the end zone all day long.
I love plays like that. Everyone's just going, ooh, oh.
Thought the play ended. There's flags flying. Oh, they think flags should be flying. Could be a timeout called for Warwick, but that's just a guess, as it looks like they're substituting a player onto the field.
I don't know.
We'll be able to tell you in just a moment.
Lots of random pointing and... Oh, yeah, I don't know. Refs are chatting.
I believe it's a magic of zebras is the collective noun. Or like a dazzle of zebras. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up in summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually at London Zoo Desk yesterday. Saw
Today?
No, yesterday.
Oh.
No, yesterday.
Okay, so here we go. Second. And I'm going to say 6, 7. What are you saying, 6 or 7?
6.
6, second and 6 for NTU. Lots of standing around. Oh, they're waiting for the referee's whistle. I thought they were confused to the play.
And you know, we've got to assume at this point, Tripp's right. Some sort of screen.
It would make sense.
That's what they've been running a whole lot of. There we go.
Looking left.
Oh, fakes
Going
the
for
screen
back
and goes to
corner.
Ben.
Oh,
And he's got
wow. What a grab by Harrison. Are they calling that in? They certainly are.
Yeah, but
Flag
they're
on the
also calling him
flame.
for the
Celebration. Does happen in Uniball.
Yawn.
You know, but
Bring in the celebration.
sometimes you gotta let them celebrate. But to be fair, I didn't see what he did.
I think he just kind of like leant back as if he, you know, and then just flicked the ball out. I don't think it was horrendous.
I don't know. Like again, I can understand it when they're like when someone's mimicking a machine gun. Yeah, flag that.
Yeah.
But let's gloss over the. Well, actually, we can't. Yeah, because they need to call it a touchdown first.
This is true. I mean, they
It's definitely the touchdown was signalled, but as there's a penalty marker, until the white hat referee puts his hands up and says, "There's not much we can do apart from speculate."
The daft / funny thing about this whole celebration penalty thing, obviously, with it being unsportsmanlike conduct, you could technically get ejected for celebrating 2 touchdowns. Would you imagine? Why did you get ejected? Oh, you punched someone, you bang into it. No, I just celebrated twice.
I got real hyped and did a backflip in the end zone.
But I mean, everyone you should know the rules. The rules are the rules, and the refs have to enforce them.
Exactly. Like you play within the rules of the game you play.
Yeah. I remember playing when I was at Oxford, playing away in South Wales, and it was one of the first times I've seen the refs actually call South Wales scored a touchdown. They called it back because he was celebrating before he got in the end zone.
Like that, I'd be furious.
Yeah. I mean, South Wales won anyway, so they probably weren't that bothered. But it's the first time I'd seen it when I was on the pitch, where he's and
okay.
just running in
Hang
with
on,
his,
so. Unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I mean, it's 15 yards.
So there we go. NTU scoring a touchdown as this game is going to be heading into halftime soon, but this kick is now made a bit harder, and it's blocked by Warwick.
Oh, and he doesn't know that they can tackle him. Bless the kicker.
So, I'd argue, it's pretty disastrous for Warwick, but not as disastrous as it could have been because of that block kick.
Absolutely. Like when when it's 3rd and 6 or 7, and there's about 50 seconds left to go, you're not expecting NTU to be able to score at that point, but it could be a huge deal. Sort of semi-ridiculing the whole idea of a celebration penalty, but 7-6, and that's entirely on that penalty.
I wouldn't argue that it's on the penalty. We've seen NTU's long snapping be slightly slow today, and Warwick, don't get me wrong, on the punting side of it, NTU have got better as the punts have been coming for them, but those first 2, it looked as though it was going to be blocked, and Warwick do get a block on the doors today. So it's currently 0-0 according to the scoreboard.
Of course.
Couldn't be us. 7-6. There we go. It's going up. Oh, no, not 5-0. 7-0. There we go.
And a cheer from the crowd.
The cheer. So 7-6. Warwick will be getting the ball after half time.
But I wouldn't, you know, and the spectators, the viewers at home will probably, I hope, agree with me here.
So a bit of a squib there. Caught by a big man.
Oh, and he's
He's
going.
rumbling. And he gets back to the halfway point of the field. And this half, well, it's not over yet.
No, I mean, they've gone after him a little bit there. They said, look, let's target the bigger guy on the backfield, see what we can do.
So
and he showed him.
We do have a player down, but we've all seen it. I forget who the Patriots...
Vince Wilfork?
No, not Wilfork.
No.
The one who got the kick reception and ran it back to like the 10. I'm trying to think of who it was. It wasn't Wilfork, but it's just like, I forget what. Then there was the other one for Chicago. It's like, he's rumbling. You know, it's great.
Just seeing if I can find any more scores.
We'll come at you.
20, Portsmouth TD 20-6 now. They're up, third quarter.
Wow. Again,
Welcome to life in the Prem,
yeah,
Exeter.
I'm going to talk about that. Talk about these at half time.
Oh yeah, we're up here.
What is this? I need this one. Okay, we'll wait for half time. We've still got football to play in the first half here at NTU versus Warwick. So Roselli is looking. He's looking for a bomb. He's looking for 95, but unable to.
No, that was fine. It was bang football.
Here's the thing, right? Sometimes that does just happen. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, sometimes that does just happen. It doesn't mean complete malice.
Yeah,
you know what I
absolutely
mean?
not.
It's people running at full speed.
He's competing for the football. He's turned his head. He's making a play for the ball that the receiver's trying to catch, and then he makes contact. I'd been very frustrated if I was.
It's
if
more.
That had been flagged.
It's more so that like we're sort of reacting to the crowd here at BUCS Park. So 2nd and 10, a run up the middle, breaking. That's going to be enough. Oh, might be slightly shy of a first down. Could be a paper width length.
We'll get to see the formation, and they're taking a time.
Oh yeah, we're seeing the formation. Okay, so Roselli's going to be getting the call. We're assuming that it's going to be Warwick special. Not like Warwick, but like Warwick special.
But then, on the flip side, it's second and... Is it second or third? Third. Third and 1. But the time's against them now. I think they've maybe only got one timeout or no timeouts. So I don't think they can run their funny...
No, they're not. Or they might run it on 4th. No, that'd be silly. No, they're not going to run it on 4th. Don't be silly, Chris. So it's whistled in. Okay, so Roselli's looking. Blocking's good. Oh. And once again, he just get it through the hands there. 4th and 1 for the Warwick Wolves. Again, there have been some great games today. We will slightly get into them, of course, before we go half-time break, obviously, because we want to go and chill.
See, if I'm Warwick here, I'm probably going to punt. Like, I understand the idea, you know, try and push for a score before the half, but if you can punt and pin NTU back in their 10, that's half, and you're getting the ball back. You're giving the NTU here the chance to potentially, for however small, potentially make a play, and I just don't know if it's worth the risk.
So here we go.
And this is they'll score and show me up. No, yeah.
Unable to.
I mean, they probably don't take the risk either, but
No.
they're more likely to because they know they aren't getting the ball to start the second half. So we shall see.
So
and the 2-minute warning seems to have taken like 9 hours.
Well, here's the thing. If I can eavesdrop on some of the players, it seems as though there's going to be just 2 seconds remaining on the clock. So NTU have either got the chance to kneel it out or just simply heave it down the field. That's still going on.
Yeah, I don't think it's far off now.
Christ. So, 2 seconds.
Hail Mary.
On the first half here. Oh, they're going to go for something.
Oh, no, they've handed it off. Boo.
So that's going to be the end of the first half here in BUCS Park. And it's a very, very interesting one, I'd say. Obviously an error on the part, but actually I'd say both scores here coming by way of error for the team on offense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the first play of the game, a pick six for the Wolves, and then a mismanaged punt drops NTU at the 15, and they manage to get it in. But a celebration knocks them back, and they cannot convert the extra point. Warwick still lead. Warwick's defense, I'd say, is better, but neither offense can really get much going. But I'd say offensively, you've got to give the edge here to NTU just by a little bit.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, no, I think that Warwick, we've talked more about Warwick. They've had the splash plays, certainly on defence, and then from time to time on offence as well. But they just haven't been able to consistently turn those plays into points, and they've allowed NTU to work out a little bit what they want, where they want to attack on Warwick's defence, and then in those last few minutes, you know, they got the break they needed, and they were able to put in a score. You know, we'll see what, you know, the first possession of the second half is always important, but it'll be extra important for Warwick to come out and put some points on the board and prove that their offence can do it as well as their defence.
And it's one of those things, well, I know that they say in football the half-time adjustment is sort of a fallacy here, but if I'm both of these teams, I'd better hope not. So before me and Ben just quickly have a small break and enjoy some of the festivities here at BUCS Park, we're going to go through some of the scores around the league. So, as it stands, this isn't confirmed, this is just from what we know as it stands right now. As we know, the Nottingham Gold are currently beating the Durham Saints 22-16. The Exeter Demons are beating the Portsmouth Destroyers are beating the Exeter Demons 20.
That is a full-time confirmed score, Notts 22, Saints 16.
So in Q3, the Portsmouth Destroyers are beating the Exeter Demons 20-6. The Stirling Klansmen beat the Edinburgh Mavericks, ruining my prediction, unbelievable stuff, 10-8. The always sensational and exciting Northumbria Mustangs currently beating the Manchester Tyrants. And I want to point out, as much as I gave a lot of hyperbole to the Tyrants there, the Mustangs, I've got the Tyrants to win the division. And if this score keeps up, they lost to UClan last week, that pick is going to be in the bin. The Sheffield get by the Coventry Jets. The Southampton Stags pick up their first win of the season against the newly promoted Swansea Titans. The Bath Killer Bees and Bristol Barracuda in Q3 was 0-0. The Brunel Burners demolished the Reading Knights 54-0. We haven't quite got a score on Hertfordshire versus Brighton, so if you know it, send it in. The UEA Pirates beat Essex 42-8. We haven't got anything for Staffordshire versus Edge Hill, but they have got a stream, so we're going to check that at half-time and then get back to you. In the final score of the Lancaster Bombers, my Lancaster Bombers, 18-0 over the Kiel Crusaders. The Sheffield Sabres beat the Sunderland Spartans 48-13, and the University of Lincoln Colonials beat the ARU Siege 22-0. We haven't got scores for Cambridge versus DMU, Plymouth, Bath Spa, Chichester, Sussex, City versus Canterbury. So if you know them, send them in. Me and Ben are going to have a quick break. We will catch you back here in just a little bit. The score here in BUCS Park for this Premiership North Showcase match: Warwick Wolves 7, NTU Renegades 6.
And the Warwick.
Okay, so if you didn't hear us, ladies and gentlemen, we were commentating, but we're back. We should be back now. We're back now.
You were there the whole time. You were there the whole time, but we had an atmospheric mic on that was picking up the speakers really easily.
Okay, so we are back. Less Kanye, more Tebbs and Ben. You know. Oh, so they're going back to this tricky formation.
Here we go.
But they've got 4 yards to go.
Keeper prediction. Oh no!
I didn't get faked out that time, Roselli. Lock in. So going to be a gain of maybe 1 on that play.
I think he should have kept it.
Yes. I imagine that we'll probably see that by the end of
I hope we do.
end of the game.
Everyone loves a QB keeper out, something like that.
Yeah. So we're on camera now, and I'm just thrilled about it. Look at these upgrades, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it in the bag. Tebb Butts Park. That's the name of the venue today. Yeah, you like that one, ladies and gentlemen? So they're going back to this tricky formation. Do you think it's going to be QB keeper? What do you think?
I think it'll be cringy if they.
Oh my God! I haven't got a clue.
15.
I haven't got a clue. Oh, he's going. Right.
Lovely.
So
double wing, fake handoffs.
I mean, absolutely sensational. Warwick are pulling all the tricks out of the bag here today. And Halloween, it's already passed. They don't need to do any trick or treating.
Yeah. And do you know what I really like about having a secondary formation is it's so hard to game plan against, because how much time do you spend? It's a completely different formation. So do you split it 50-50? Well, then they're taking away half your time against the primary formation. It's really, really smart to have a completely alternate formation like that.
Akuko there on the big run, and there's going to be another run up the middle. Akuko, I should say. Sorry. But again, going back to standard runs, nothing too tricky, and not getting much.
Yeah, leaning in on the run in the start of the second half, which isn't something they did as much of. They were pretty sort of 50-50 run pass in the first half, but they've really lent into the run in this, and it's working for them.
So it looks to be second. I want to say 8. Are you going to say something? Yeah. So NT look like they're bringing some pressure. They're not going to come.
Design
Roselli's
roll out.
rolling out.
For me, that's on the QB. He needs to put that a little higher.
Well, here's the thing. Roselli had Westonberry breathing down his neck.
But on those design QB rollouts, you obviously you don't want to get hit as a QB really ever if you can help it. But you've got to be prepared for contact in those environments and be able to put the ball exactly where it needs to go, even if you are going to take a little bit of a lick afterwards.
Because that receiver for Warwick, he was open for a completion, was potentially maybe not enough for a first down, given that the
pretty close
Renegades are in the area. But again, when you've got a man running at you full steam, no, you're going to be worried.
Yeah.
So another design rollout. Roselli is looking.
Goes a little deeper.
And that's going to be picked off. Flag on the play, though.
Ooh.
Flag on the play. This could be damaging for the Renegades.
Oh. The crowd is reminding 15 that maybe he shouldn't celebrate too early, as he points to the Warwick sideline immediately after the pick. But it looks like it might come back.
There was a lot of chippiness there. We saw even Roselli point as number 15 was coming around, pointing to the flag on the ground, saying, "Hey, man, come on."
Yeah.
So that is going to be on NTU. It's going to remain a Warwick Wolves ball. The old boys in front of us are going wild.
Warwick 15 just gave the old first down signal.
First down. And number 15 for NTU. He's definitely having a chat. He's having a chat to his receiver. He's pointing up to the old boys.
Do you know what though? I think sometimes UK football can be. I'm not a fan of chippiness per se, but it can be a little. I don't know really how to describe it. There's sometimes the passion gets sort of diluted by our Britishness, and we're almost a bit too scared to be passionate. So I don't mind a little bit of to and fro and a little bit of...
This is the problem though with like being British. Like, if you really, really love something and you care about it and you're passionate about it, you'll be made fun of relentlessly.
Yes.
You won't just be able to do it. I know that.
Yeah.
People would be like, Chris, why do you care about Uniball so much? I just do. There you go.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, if we ignore the fact that it was what looks like a roughing the passer, 15 read the flight of the ball very well and made a good play on it. So he can still be proud of.
It's one of those things, man. It's not 15's fault. He just celebrated 20. If I put this, I've done that before because it's really, really funny.
Yeah, agreed.
Like it's fun. It's fun to celebrate, right? But
100%.
So we're going to get back in now. But
and 15 looks like he's making his apologies to
he is.
4 of the players here.
Maybe he's pleading his case. Maybe he's pleading his. Maybe he's gone up to Roselli going, "I had you, mate. Just to let you know that I had you." So it's going to be enough for a first down for the Warwick Wolves. They're going to be on the 11-yard line of the NTU Renegades, potentially looking for their first offensive touchdown of the day. Not potentially, of course they are. I hate it when I say stuff like that. Of course they're looking for their first offensive touchdown of the day. So 8 in motion, fakes the screen, goes long, but one of those receivers was just wrapped up enough.
I think either the receiver sold the screen a little too well and didn't break off his DB, or he actually thought it was going to be a screen and was blocking the DB. Either way.
2nd and 10 from the 11. Obviously, they want a touchdown, but they can take, if they go down at the 1, they've got a fresh set of downs. 4 chances to go in from the 1. So Roselli's rolling out to his right one more time, fires it. And batted down. My eyes were looking to the end zone. Didn't quite get that far.
No, number 8 doing really well to get his hands up there as he was sort of applying pressure, but knew he was probably going to be chipped by number 8 for Warwick and wasn't going to be able to get the sack, so just got his hands up there and made a good play.
So Roselli's going to get the play in you've got to expect, considering how the extra point being good for Warwick when they scored their touchdown right at the start of the game, I'm going to make the assumption that this is probably, if this play does not go off for 10 yards or a touchdown, the field goal unit will probably be coming on for the Wolves. I think so, yeah. Bit of a low snap. Hand off and stopped
Nothing.
viciously.
Absolutely nothing.
One arm up. They're saying that. And number 56 for the Renegades saying that he had the ball and stripped it as we have the field goal unit come onto the field. Referees blow it dead and the field goal unit come on for the Warwick Wolves.
I think the Warwick kicker's probably got the leg. It's just the speed in which the whole process happens as to whether NTU have a chance for the block. I think both sides, their kicking has been decent, but it's just the process of snap to hands to placement to kick seems to be a little slow, both on punt and field goal.
So here we go. Can the Wolves extend it to a 4-point lead? You're loving the setup, aren't you?
It honestly is making my day.
So it's down. It's
Nope,
down. It's blocked. And dived on it. I thought there was potential there. Oh, I thought he was going to try and run it back for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, he's imagining he was in the NFL.
That would have been good though. Would have been good. So the score stays to a single point. 7-6 to Warwick. The second block kick we've seen today. Both teams now having a blocked kick on the day.
And you know, Warwick have to be disappointed. Again, we've talked the whole game about them leaving points on the field, them not being able to score when it counts and having good plays but not consistent plays, and that's exactly what happened there. They drove down the field very well, first down, 2 or 3 yards, first down, and then when it mattered, NTU held them out.
Sorry, we're not sponsored by Volvic, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I just put my bottle there. But it's one of these things where the Warwick Wolves are now, despite being, I'd say, the more impressive side, they're in the danger zone. So good catch there, running around the outside. Going to be a gain of, I think he's going to split the sticks perfectly there for a gain of 5. So Warwick, I would argue, have been the better team today.
Yeah.
But because of these lack of points, they're completely in the danger zone.
Absolutely.
Because this clock is going down. We've seen one offensive touchdown today, Nottingham's.
Yeah.
Like this game, if I'm the Warwick Wolves, I'm getting really worried at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And I think NTU are coming after them in this screen game. They're going trips left, trips right, coming after them with the screens. And screens are primed to break.
So we will give you some updates after the end of this play. Good run around the outside, breaking one, and that is going to be enough for a first down and a fair bit more. But there is a flag in the... I didn't quite see that flag.
Yeah.
Looks like this could be going back for NTU. So updates on... We don't actually have an update still on Cardiff versus SGS, which is a shame. We do have third quarter. It was 26-14 to Portsmouth. We will obviously try to update you as we go. There obviously are some other ones. Northumbria currently beating the Tyrants.
Updated full time.
No way.
Yep.
So we're getting this one, and this is a new one for me. The Bristol Barracuda beat the Bath Killer Bees 7-0. I tell you what, that's an interesting day for the Southwest.
That division.
An interesting day for the Southwest one, as Southampton beat Swansea 6-0 and Bristol beat Bath 7-0. That's going to be one to talk about. As I'm sure that the Bournemouth Uni Bobcats are somewhere laughing. So it's going to be a big chunky yardage. The NTU Renegades, Dudley Holt has got a reception, but tackled enough. I think that's going to be a gain of 3.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing really doing there from NTU. It's a nice pitch and catch, but when you're second in a chunk of yardage, 15 plus, those 3 yards aren't really going to do much for you. So big third down, 3rd and 12 it looks like.
It could be one of these things where Warwick know that potentially Ben Harrison is going to be the threat. He's a big man. And with the balls in his hands, we've seen him drag Warwick Wolves players on the ground.
And I think a lot of the time what they're potentially doing with this screen game is it's a consistent hitter. They're getting a few yards here and there, but it's always Ben Harrison on the back side of it. I say that now as he's on the play side of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time I think they're maybe trying to lull Warwick into a false sense of we're always going to the trip side and then coming back to him.
So Dudley Holt.
Instead,
So it goes to Harrison.
Oh, and he's dropped it.
He's going to grab a hold of it. Going for that sort of mid-screen cut back inside.
Yeah, he was running upfield before he caught that ball.
But I think, not to discredit anything that NTU did, the fact that we were speaking about Ben Harrison and then he caught the ball.
What shows our commentator, did we commentator curse him? Are we that big
we did, yeah.
That we can curse
no, we did, didn't we? Right,
we'll never mention him again.
Never mention him again.
Sorry, NTU fans. That's our bad.
Sorry, Chris Renegas, I know, out there cursing my name.
That's a new score, and so is that one. And that one.
You're joking me. Staffordshire. So Q3 Staffordshire 25, Edge Hill 6. I didn't see that one coming. So the snap is good. And that's a decent punt.
Kick.
And Warwick are just going to leave it. Takes a bit of a Warwick bounce. And that is going to settle at the 46-yard line of the Wolves themselves.
I always find it fascinating. And I know from being a coach, it happens on every team I've coached. When you shout away or poison or whatever your word is, and you still have 2 or 3 players that run towards the ball, every time on every team from the ELF to under 16, no, not under 16, under 19, Div 1, it always happens and it always frustrates me.
So here we go, Warwick getting set fairly quickly here.
Oh, and weirdly, number 88 for Warwick, false started. I don't know if anyone noticed, but then he held his head in shame to the point where they went, he must have done something wrong.
I put it to this, I'm fairly certain that only one NTU coach was maybe the only person in the building that really clocked what was going on there. So, and Warwick will be going back. But again, this does happen when you're trying to when you break that huddle fast, you get there, you're hyped up, you're ready to go. A bit of a low snap. Handoff. To tell you what, there was a good turn of speed into that, but I don't think that Warwick are going to be able to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think Warwick's issue seemingly is that their line aren't coming up to second level. The back's taking a really nice cut step, accelerating, and he gets past the defensive line relatively quickly and then just immediately hit at that second level. I think the Warwick are getting onto their double teams early, but they're not separating from them and going up to second level, and the linebackers are just able to flow over the top and make those tackles.
So 2nd and 12 now for the Warwick Wolves. Again, there's still 1 point in it. And if anyone has got any updates on SGS versus Cardiff or City versus Canton, that might be the only 2. So again, breaking out that huddle fast. Low snap. Roselli manages to get it. He's going to try and scramble, but he is brought down deep behind the line of scrimmage. And Weston Perry finally gets his man there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably spent most of today being frustrated as he just slips past him or just releases the ball, but he finally gets there.
And I'm going to take a punt here that I think the Warwick Wolves are going to be staring down a 3rd and 22. That's a lot.
Way. Yeah.
Again, I can feel it happening in the air. I think you can feel it as well. I think this momentum meter is starting to turn a shade of pink.
100%. I absolutely agree with you. I think NTU are really starting to feel that they can get.
So a better snap this time, drawing it out to the flat, but nowhere near enough to get that first down. But obviously they're going to be punting it. They're now going to be punting it from their own 40 as opposed to the 35.
Yeah, and exactly as you say, I think NTU will really feel on the sideline now that they've absorbed this Warwick pressure through the first half and a couple of little bits early in the second, and now they can come out fighting. And like you say, they're the only offense to have scored, and they may have taken advantage of good field position, but they're still the only ones to have done it, and so they'll back themselves to do it again.
So the field goal last time for Warwick was blocked. And the punt was as well. No, the snap wasn't good, and they managed to receive the punt. High snap, but gets it away. Going to be going into the NTU side of the field. Takes a little bit of an NTU roll. And it looks like the Renegades are going to be starting at their own 39.
End of the quarter.
And, you know, it's always nice when it ends on a turnover as well. Nice end of possession. So we are currently in Q4 of this Premiership North matchup between former Midlands 1 foes. 7-6 is the score. And I think that this game is looking a bit more Nottingham Trenty.
Yeah, but do you know what as well? I didn't have it down as low scoring. I really thought that it would be more like 17-14, 20, 24-21. I thought it was going to be not a battle of defences, especially, NTU were relatively prolific last year on offence, and, Warwick put 28 on Leeds, that's presumptive division favourite in this year.
Warwick had the lead at one point in that game. The thing is, if you look at the historical scores before last year,
yeah, that's true.
Warwick 11, NTU 7 in 2019,
Yeah.
Warwick 13 to NTU's 12, 7-3, 6-0, 0-6, 9-7. These two teams know each other, and what a bomb!
Oh, very close.
And I tell you what, definitely 50-50 there.
Yeah.
I think both teams are lucky that hit the floor.
Yeah, I think 5 for NTU had run a really crisp, really nice route, and if the ball had been in front of him, that was a touchdown. I genuinely do. There was no one between him and the end zone. However, I also think he did a great job of stopping it being a Warwick pick because of the fact that the ball was so underthrown.
Oh, sorry. I'm not used to being on camera, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just sort of living. So 2nd and 10 for NTU. It's going to be a handoff running left. Big turn of speed there, but lots of horizontal running. But that dive when you're at the sideline, that's going to be enough for, I think, a gain of 5.
And there was some good, really good initial blocking for number 14 receiver for NTU. Just slowed up number 50, who's obviously a star linebacker for Warwick, enough for him to catch that edge and gain a good few yards.
So we do have a Warwick Wolves player down. While he's being tended to, we're going to get some of the new scores. What are the new scores? We've got any new ones?
I suppose that's newish.
Oh yeah,
That's
Cambridge
newish.
Pythons beat the DMU Lions 20-12. Good start for Cambridge.
I shall chase a couple of others. We might have something new from...
Oh, the Sussex Saxons beat the Chichester Spitfires 35-7.
That's all we're looking at, I think, so far.
Again, still nothing for SGS versus Cardiff, if you've got any updates. And also City versus Canterbury. Which I'm interested in that game. I think Canterbury are pretty surprising. They didn't beat QMBL last week, but it was still pretty decent for them. Again, tune into the rundown tomorrow. We've got a lot to talk about. The Southwest one is broken. We can discuss that. The Southwest one, it's broken. So the Warwick Wolves player walking off under his own power to his own sideline. And Hearts versus Brighton.
Yeah.
But nothing on that. If you know, tell us. So, 3rd and 4 for NTU. Bit of a low snap. Dudley Holt is looking for a big bomb. Can't find anything. No flags. Just a nice quick one there. Is that 2nd or 3rd? So it's 20-11. 20-11 to SGS.
Oh, is it?
Apparently so.
Oh, nice.
And I tell you what, that's surprising. I'm expecting SGS to blow these people out. Blow these teams out like they've done the year that and the year before.
Yep.
It's low scoring. We'll talk about it.
I really like the new structure to BUCS. It's producing more competitive games across the board, and it's really, really exciting.
Well, we'll see SGS next week when we see them versus Exeter. So the punt is away. Not a great
Not a
punt.
great punt at all.
You could hear it.
Oh, and
Takes
a bad bounce as well.
takes a Warwick bounce, dives on it. Sometimes you can hear
Yeah.
you can hear a bad kick, and that was just like slapping a tea towel against a wall. That's exactly what that sounded like. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really interesting one. Like, Leeds are, as far as I'm concerned, the favourite in this div. But I'll tell you what, when it comes down to it, again, NTU, last team to beat Leeds. That showdown will be very, very interesting.
100%. And I think what this is showing is that potentially NTU's defence will be able to hang with Leeds, but it's whether offensively they'll be able to get points on the board.
So here we go now, a single point in between it. We are in the final quarter. Low snap. Roselli manages to get it into his hands of his running back. And when a snap is that low, you get 2 yards, you're going to be happy about it.
Absolutely. Warwick going back to handing off that ball. I mean, obviously from them that they're seeing it as a way that they're generating yards, but also that clock slowly ticking down. And with the 12-minute quarters in Uniball, it's pretty quick to make these quarters disappear.
We've already had that one. So it's going to be another run.
Good flow from the NTU players.
But it's begs the question: Are Warwick now going to be looking at the clock? We're in the final quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's a smart idea. You've got to be looking, even if it's for a field goal. Just extend it out.
Yeah,
Force them
100%.
to score a touchdown.
I think almost sometimes it's worse being the winning team in this scenario, because you start to talk yourself out of certain plays. Because you're like, I'm winning, so let's just run the clock, or I'm winning, so let's do this, and actually.
I'm not used to being on camera. So 2nd and 8. Roselli's throwing it. Just can't find his receiver.
Yeah, he's gone after 15 3 times in that flats area now, and every time it's been either slightly off target or 15's not been able to bring it in.
So it is the 4th down. So that was 3rd and 8. And the punting unit for Warwick comes back on.
Yep. And I'm now getting the, being in the stadium, the vibe. NTU just don't seem to be really troubled by Warwick's offense currently. They don't. I'm not feeling the threat from that Warwick offense when they come out.
And here's the thing: it seems like the crowd as well. They're sort of getting a bit nonplussed. I think they understand that, the sort of tint between pink and orange, it's getting there.
Oh,
bit of a low kick there, but what a great bounce that was.
Yes.
Sometimes if you manage to just put a little bit of extra vinegar on the toe portion of it, you can get a bounce like that, and NTU are going to be starting on their own 26.
Let's see what they can do. Every opportunity is one less as this clock ticks away. And how much will they rue that Ben Harrison celebration? I mean, like you say, it wasn't entirely on that, but it made that kick that little bit harder. Changes the angle for the kicker. Potentially means it's blocked.
So it's a long way to go for the Renegades, but only a single point between them and 2-0. I tell you what, there was a big hole up the middle that I think that running back completely missed.
100%.
That was a massive gap.
Offensive line made such a beautiful seam up to probably 12 yards without a Warwick player in sight.
I mean this. I thought my eyes were playing tricks. I saw a massive amount of space, and I saw a running back not enter it.
Yeah.
But gain of 4.
Yeah.
Still positive. 2nd and 6 now for NTU.
And NTU are really liking what they're seeing out of the way Warwick adjust to trips, because they've been in trips probably 80% of the time through this fourth quarter.
So Dudley Hope throws it, gets it into his receiver's hands, but crossing back into the middle of the field and into a swarm of wolves.
Yeah, and I don't know whether they're running it as a screen or whether they're running it as hitches, but a couple of times now I've seen both the middle and outside receiver on that trip side run that kind of hitch, a comebacky kind of concept. But what it means is you then don't have the blocker upfield once you caught the ball, so it allows the Warwick defence to just come and play down on that player who catches the ball, and then so they're not really getting much from it.
But even still, like, the play didn't seem successful, but it's a gain of 2 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and 3 here. Dudley Holt is looking for a
Screen
bomb.
and go, but wasn't there.
And it seemed to be, and it's so strange. It's gone from like rancorous shouting from the Warwick Wolves old boys in front of us to polite claps.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I tell you what, it's still pretty early in the day here, so I don't think it's going to be because of tiredness. I think they're going, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's one of those games where, you know, the first quarter and a bit were very crowd pleasing, big plays, big hits, and it's kind of got down to it now where neither offense is really performing. The defenses are just in second gear.
Oh, it's a fake. It's a fake, and I think he's got one man to beat.
And he's done it.
Wow, and NTU pulling out of the bag exactly when they need to do it.
That's me saying there's no big plays.
Well, I tell you what, we don't see a lot of fake punts. I certainly haven't in my time, and seeing one here today. Nottingham, no, and like for me, I think that is the play. You've got them on a fake punt.
Yep.
I think momentum is with NTU. They need to capitalise here. There's not long left, and it's a single point.
Exactly that. You know,
like that's a demoralising play.
Yeah. And something, you know, you can never be ready for a fake punt, but you should always be prepared for it. And I think Warwick were very much already thinking about how they were going to progress on the next drive.
Like you hear coaches all the time, watch the fake, watch the fake. What does that really change sometimes? What does that really change? Okay, so it's going to be a handoff running right. So close to getting tackled. Wolves are swarming. Flag on the play.
I think that's going to be holding.
So it's going to be a gain of 2. But yellow flags coming in.
Look at that the right tackle for NTU basically dragged down the defensive player and stopped him getting tackled in the backfield. So yeah, I think that probably, there we go, comes back for holding.
And we've seen this negatively affect more so NTU, I feel like. But we have seen it a fair few times today.
Yeah, Warwick have got caught bad on penalties when they've been trying to get that third and close, sneaky kind of job. NTU seem to be getting a lot of the holding stuff when they've had a big play. And that can really take the wind out your sail. Now, you know, 1st and 20, it looks immediately they're back where they started from that punt.
Again, it's been so evenly matched here. And again, both the scores here coming out of errors on the opposite sides. Will be in the opposite side's fault. Dudley Holt is looking, throws through the middle, into lots of traffic.
He's caught it.
Oh my Lord, I cannot believe that. He's still upright. This is the problem. When you have like this sort of dip-dab level colours, I couldn't see what was going on in the middle of the field. I was like, oh my Lord, what has happened? But NTU are now driving.
One-handed catch. And it was interesting, in the warm-up, the same player made a very similar catch, and I was like, whoa, that's a lovely little one-handed thing. But do it in the warm-up, all well and good. Doing it in the game, well played, that man.
Well, I tell you what, sometimes
in traffic as well.
I know sometimes you see coaches. Well, coaches don't coach. Okay, so I'm going to let this play go. I've just got minutes. So it goes out again. Going to be, again, positive yardage.
Yep.
Big tackle there. You've got to be happy with that. Would you like to hear the scoreline for UE Bullets versus Leeds Beckett?
In the National League, so the the most competitive league in
Yes.
Uniball, I'd love to hear it.
So it's 104. 104-0 to the UE Bullets.
Oh. You win some, you lose some. Jeez.
Yes, I can explain why the Warwick Wolves are wearing Tamworth Phoenix's uniform. It is because the numbers on this is what I was told, the numbers on the back of the Warwick Wolves regular jerseys were slightly too small. And they were just worried in having, a large crowd here. They wanted to put their best foot forward. But it is like very, very slightly too small. So that's why. They tell me that red kits are in the post. So 3rd and 6. Dudley Holt is looking for a bomb.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Safety there.
number 61.
And he gives it the little seatbelt celly as well, which I love.
Is that 50-51?
No, it's 61.
Is it 61? Let me try and find 61. Oh, Jayesh Patel. What a play that was. Sorry, I was simply trying to find your name. Just getting his fingertips to it, and that is just enough, because I think that would have been a touchdown for the Renegades.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It was weird. It looked like the NTU receiver slowed up, and I thought, his QB's going to be fuming with him. But then he obviously tried. He's trying to slow up to read the flight path of the ball, but that allowed Jayesh to read the flight path as well and get a hand on it. Great play.
Kingsley Ike, number 2 for the Renegades, has been one of the primary receivers for them today. So Dudley Holt is going to throw it out. Oh, and he's dropped it and he dives on it. Ball is up, but again,
I would agree with the slightly saucy language from the crowd. It did seem that pass was backwards, and so I would have considered that.
Again, like the Warwick Wolves old boys that are in front of us, they exclaimed because they thought it was backwards.
I would probably agree with them. I mean, maybe it's our angle, but
yeah, we aren't quite sat on the 50. We're sat on the Warwick 40.
Yeah.
So we are currently at an angle, but obviously we saw a fake last time.
Yeah. It's interesting that they're punting here, because I get it's close to the halfway line, and I don't know how long's left in the game, but
so punter has to go back and find it. Going to try and pin them into the corner. That's going to take a. That's going to take a great. No! And what a mistake that was by the Renegades. That ball could have been pinned at the 2, the 3, or maybe even the 1 if they were lucky. But 2 Renegades dived on the ball at the same time, and that pushed the ball for a touchback. And Warwick are going to have much better field position.
Peak Brit ball, right there. I'm sorry, that was every Bahamas was ready to celebrate one effective punt.
That was going to be like basically a perfect punt, but just unable to finish the job. So
I mean, it's still inside the 20. It's still a long way to go for Warwick, but
here's the thing: Warwick are in control of the clock.
Yeah,
that's basically it. And it's going to be a good run, a good turn of speed. I think he's going to be able to cut the sticks in half.
I've been really impressed with the quality of tackling from NTU. A lot of the time early in the season, tackling can be a bit raggedy and a bit, 2 or 3 people hanging on, but they've been really clean and crisp, because the Warwick back is really, really crisp in his cuts and attacks the line at speed, but they've just been able to bring him down really, really well.
And you can see why Kaye was GP under 19s. Because one thing I love about watching running backs is how quickly they can reach that top speed. And he's one of those players where he can just crash into the line and get 5 yards. So a little bit of movement there. And it's good, making a good angle. That's going to be enough for a first down. I think that's probably going to be about 8 or 9 yards on that run play. But a flag's coming in with some movement on the defense.
Yeah, and NTU, I think, thought that the play was maybe not done, but a few of them switched off, and that allowed the Warwick back to find that seam and get upfield quickly. And like you say, when you've got the experience of playing at under 19s and it's not your first rodeo, you can see those seams and hit them a lot quicker.
So Warwick are just going to keep trying to get this clock out. 1st and 10. It's going to be going to the left-hand side. Kaira's got it. He's found a lane. And that is going to be another first down for the Wolves. And again, as this clock keeps ticking, this is this is not the time where NTU need to be letting plays like that go through. And I feel like they haven't been doing it all day. They've not been letting plays like that get a complete fresh set of downs.
I feel like NTU have almost been lulled into a false sense of security. 2 or 3 drives where it was comfortable for them. They weren't really having to get out of second gear, and now all of a sudden Warwick are attacking them on the edge, finding space, getting upfield, and the crowd's behind them.
It looks like there's some miscommunication there. With Roselli, 15 in motion. Still looking over at his coach. Hey, what's going on? So it looks like it'll be a timeout call for the Wolves. I say that. Or are we about to see?
Yeah, timeout.
Is that 2-minute warning?
Jeez. But see, if that's 2-minute warning...
It is the 2-minute warning.
If that's the 2-minute warning, then for me, why are NTU punting that ball?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Because it's, I mean, they've ran 3 or 4 plays, so that must have been 3.5 minutes when they punted the ball. Like I say, even if NTU have been lulled into this kind of, oh, we'll just get the ball back with a minute left, like, you're on their 40. You've I don't know. For me, I don't know why they punted that ball. I think that was a very interesting choice.
So obviously trying to send a blitzer there. 13 is going to take it around the outside for Warwick. He's going to get a good amount of yards. And this edge is really, really working for Warwick basically when they need it.
Yep. Yeah, and they're just attacking the edge of that NTU defense, which even if they don't necessarily get the yards, even though they are doing, takes time off the clock.
Obviously going out,
each play is 8 to 10 seconds rather than 4 to 6.
But getting that, going outside, obviously the clock is going to stop, but at the end of the day, they're now having to face a 2nd and 3.
Yep.
And they just need to completely drain this clock out.
Well, one more first down and it becomes very difficult for NTU to get any time on the clock if they get the ball back.
Wouldn't surprise me if this is going to be going left. It looks for the middle, but there's just... Oh, I don't know about that in terms of tackling for NTU. You were praising them before. Number 8 for NTU was right there, and yet the running back just continued to go forward.
And I think almost number 8 was confused he'd got there so quickly and didn't really know what to do with himself. He sort of froze, and then, like you say, he dragged the Warwick player down towards his own end zone, and as in towards the NTU end zone, and it looks like it could be borderline first down, or certainly third and very, very short.
I think that the referees are gonna check to see just how close this one was, because it is crunch time for NTU, and it just seems as though that the run game that hasn't really been working, it has had some success for Warwick, is working amazingly here. And it looks like it is. Actually, I'm not going to say that now because I think they may be bringing the sticks over.
No, I think they've given it as a third and a half. I think they're sticking with.
Do you think you're going to see the old Warwick special?
I mean, it's the perfect time to do it.
Roselli keeps it and fumbles it. Scoop and score into you.
Could you imagine?
Oh, dear.
And do you know what? That we were sort of semi-laughing about it, but if that ball starts on the 1 versus starting on the 20, right now, even if they get the similar drive, we're maybe at the 30 to 40 rather than inside.
It's gonna be an interesting one, because as much as obviously we're very much sort of preempting the end of the game, that obviously you're Warwick, you're going to be happy that like you've managed to defeat NTU.
Yeah.
But I feel like you may look back at this tape and go, we should have been up quite a lot. They are going back into that.
QB keeper, come on now. Oh no, he's handed it off. Rubbish. I mean, they've
That looks
got
like
it,
a first.
Oh, they're saying maybe NTU ball.
I think it may be NTU. No, well, that's definitely what they're arguing for. If this is NTU ball, then this game has just got a heck of a lot more interesting.
Because I was just about to say, in fact, I'm not even going to talk. Let's see what they say.
Some round of applauses.
Pulling out all the tricks to influence the refs. Pointing left, right and centre. Clapping, cheering. Your magic of zebras or whatever it was.
I think it's either a dazzle or a magic of zebras.
First down.
First down, Warwick. And you can see that the sideline for NTU are not impressed.
Yeah, and I think that's probably game. And what you're saying is absolutely right. I feel like they have left points, but that's almost a dream scenario for the coaching staff, because they can say we've just beaten one of our biggest rivals in a big game, big crowd, and we left so much on the table. You know, if you've scraped it and you feel lucky to have got out of there with the win, that can be a little bit different. But to turn around and say, you know, again, we're potentially presuming, but if Warwick do walk away with this win and be able to say that they've done it in not getting up to full gear or not taking advantage of their opportunities, then
I was about to repeat the amount of days it's been since Warwick last beat NTU. But I feel like doing it at this point, that would be commentator's curse levels.
Yeah, very true.
So I'm going to leave that until the final whistle, if
now.
that's all right. So they're having a chat.
I think NTU. I think they're waiting for the clock to run down.
There we go. So, and another big run there, just
Great
being
run.
able to break off that speed.
I think starting on that 20, number 8 has put Warwick on his back and gone, I'm winning this game for us. Right now, right here, I'm taking this game, finding those hard yards.
It's one of those things where Kai has been an effective part of the Warwick offense, but for right now, this drive has been all him.
Yep.
And very well, again, presumptuing here because there's still 1 point in it.
I just
could
don't
win
think
him the
there's
game.
time left for NTU. I really don't. I think if NTU manage to get the ball back, unlikely, they get it back with 10 seconds on the clock, 15 seconds on the clock. I mean, to be fair, I was at Oxford Brunel in the playoffs last year, and that lead change happened 3 times in 34 seconds, so I never say never.
Again, you know, Cardiff Birmingham at the start of the season.
Yeah.
You know, 2 lead changes in, what, a minute?
Yep.
You know, and it's a 1 point game. NTU are going to need something huge here. They're definitely stacking that box.
Absolutely.
They're definitely stacking that box. They do not want any running. Hear the sound of fireworks going off. And a tackle there. And NTU are going to be taking another timeout. You know, they don't think they're out of it yet, which is good because there is only 1 point in it. But so that is going to be a. Is that going to be a tackle for loss, or are my eyes stopping working? So that is going to be.
I think it's basically back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
It's third down.
It's third down.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why. Like, I've been able to see it all game, but I can't quite make out what it is.
Believe me, if I took my glasses off, I can barely read the numbers on the Warwick jersey.
What do you mean it's 8th down? I don't know what you're talking about. But as we're in a timeout, we're going to go through some of the scores. So, Nottingham Gold beat Durham Saints 16-22. The UE Bullets do UE Bullets things. They beat Leeds Beckett 104. No big deal. As it stands right now, 7-6 in this game. We'll try and find out some Cardiff and SGS. And oh no, we did 20 to 11 for SGS. And Portsmouth Exeter 26 to 14 to Portsmouth. We last checked. So Warwick going back to the Warwick formation.
QB keeper.
QB keeper if it is.
Come on.
They're just pushing it.
off. That Portsmouth Exeter score is a full-time score now.
Is it? Well,
So
interesting.
Portsmouth 26, Exeter 14.
That's going to be an interesting one to talk about tomorrow on the rundown. Fourth down. Have Warwick burnt enough time?
And that's 52-0 win for Northumbria over Manchester.
Oh, well, that'd be.
Are they shouting my name?
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first play of the game wins it for Warwick, 7-6. 108 days since the last time the Wolves were able to reign over the Renegades. But this Division 1 Midlands now turned Premiership North rivalry has now got a very interesting chapter, because the Wolves just beat the Renegades by 1 single point.
And what a game. It was, it was very defense heavy, but it was back and forth. It was Warwick leaving points on the field, then NTU not being able to capitalise on that. There was a run where we thought that NTU were going to take advantage. It seemed like the tide was turning for NTU, and then they weren't able to manage it. They had the punt, they had that issue with the little punt at the end, and then, like I say, number 8 using his experience there to carry Warwick to this victory.
And what a day it has been for Warwick, managing to put on this event here at BUCS Park and managing to pick up their first win of the season in a very, very interesting game. We are going to be going down to the sideline after the handshakes to talk to some of these players, just in regards to, what do you think of this? It's only a point, in it. I think when these two teams match up for a second time later in the year, that is going to be an interesting one for the Renegades.
Absolutely, and like I say, I think Warwick will be able to take heart from the fact that, they'll be happy, but also they know that they didn't execute completely and they still managed to get the win. And I think for NTU, they'll be sitting there thinking, we played at maybe 50% of the level we've seen that team play in the past. And, teams fluctuate week on week, month on month, year on year. Manchester, Northumbria, prime example, Manchester in the division above, and yet they lost 52-0. So you never know what you're going to get year on year, but NTU can't be and won't be happy with that performance on the whole, and the fact that they've lost this game.
I think it's going to be a very, very telling. Where do Liverpool fit into this?
Oh, well, yeah.
It seems as though that Leeds are the top, but now NTU versus Leeds got a bit more importance in it, really. Obviously, NTU managing to beat Liverpool in their first game, but 1-1. Both of these teams are. Yeah, Leeds still the top.
This division becomes very exciting, and we're not talking at all about the fact that you've got an ex-Premiership team last year in the Newcastle Raiders in the division as well.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the Newcastle Raiders. It does happen.
This division has so much complexity to it, so many different layers of storylines and skill sets and previous records. Every win counts, obviously, but especially in a division where you're coming up against good opposition week in, week out. So, Warwick have taken this, and good for them, rightly so.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head down to the pitch. But before we do, I'm going to give you some of the scores from around the league. So, the UE Bullets 2s beat Leeds Beckett 104-0. The Nottingham Gold beat the Durham Saints 22-16. The Warwick Wolves beat the NTU Renegades 7-6. Cardiff lose to SGS 11-22. Portsmouth beat Exeter 26-14. The Heriot Wolverines beat Aberdeen 14-8. Stirling beat Edinburgh 10-8. The Northumbria Mustangs beat the Manchester Tyrants 52-0. The Sheffield Hallam Warriors fall to the Leicester Longhorns 12-0. What?
Yeah.
Nottingham Green, they managed to survive the Coventry Jets. They managed to survive what? The Southampton Stags beat the Swansea Titans 6-0. The Bristol Barracuda beats the Barkiller Bees 7-0. Brunel Burners destroy the Reading Knights 54-0. We still do not have anything on Hertfordshire versus Brighton. The UEA Pirates beat the Essex Blades 42-8. The Staffordshire Stallions beat the Edgehill Vikings 25-6. The Lancaster Bombers beat the Kill Crusaders.
That's full-time score now.
27-6. The Lancaster Bombers beat the Kill Crusaders 18-0. The Sheffield Sabres currently 48 points Up to 13 against Sunderland. The Lincoln Colonials beat the AIU Siege 22-0. The Cambridge Pythons beat the DMU Lions 20-12. The last one we've got, the Chichester Spitfires lose to the Sussex Saxons 35-7. We're going to go on to the pitch, ladies and gentlemen. Just give yourself a bit of time to enjoy yourself.
Even with the low scoreline.
It's going to be very, very interesting as we progress into this season, but they've got to be happy about this. 1,008 days since the last time the Warwick Wolves were able to beat the NTU Renegades. I think they're going to go and do their
smile brightly and get.
They're going to go and do that. They're going to go and do. Oh, they're doing a warm down. This is.
Oh, well, the coaches don't need to do a warm down.
This is excellent. I don't know who to get.
I'll see if I can grab someone.
Go and grab someone. Ben's going to go and grab someone. He's trying to get him in. We're going to try and get people. But I tell you what an event this is for the Warwick Wolves.
Yes.
Like that, it was a pretty decently packed stand here. In realistically, the home of British football, with the amount of championship games that happen here. But it's interesting. So we're going to welcome some of the Warwick Wolves coaching staff to discuss this 7-6 victory against the NTU Renegades. So, what went into that? Obviously, it was very, very close.
It was a great game. It's always close against Trent. They're a great game. They're a great side, really well coached. It's been a case where we've got close with these guys for a number of years now, and it's about executing in the small moments. And honestly, first half we left quite a lot on the field, but I thought second half we stepped up, we took care of some of the details a bit more, and got the result in the end.
So, how much of that, very, very bunched formation?
Yeah.
How many times do you worry when you have to bring that out? Because
we love it.
because I tell you what, it was very, very, very entertaining. The first time it happened, I had no clue. I was all over the place. What do you think this means now you're both 1-1 for the rest of the Premiership North?
This is why we took promotion, because we knew it was going to have all these kinds of close games like that. And these are games that you players, coaches that you remember at not just the end of the season, but at the end of your careers, and looking back fondly on your time with the team. So I'm so glad for all these guys that they had this moment today. And Trent, a credit to the Prem. They're always going to play good football, and look forward to playing them again after Christmas.
I was about to ask, how do you think that next game is going to go? Obviously, last year we saw that the second game scoreline was a lot closer than the first. are you going to be expecting that the second time round for this matchup?
Yeah, and kind of one of the reasons I love playing Trent is they got great coaches, and every time we have a game like this, it's all about, all right, what are you going to do next time round? And it's the old cliche, right? For American football's a game of last person holding the pen, and that's how often so many of these games go. They did some new stuff today, like their Trent formation and stuff like that. So. They've done that in years past, but so we had to kind of adjust on the fly to it a little bit today. But
Ben,
it was.
Ben, you got anything?
It was a great game.
Congratulations, coach.
Thanks very much.
It was a hell of a game. Saying I'm a defensive background and seeing that defensive battle back and forth. I wondered when you're sort of game planning for these, knowing you know them so well, do you focus on the things that you know from last year, or do you sort of go in thinking that it's new players, new season, and try and just sort of put that out of your head a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. You've always got to bear in mind like who they are, just like in their DNA, right? Trainer a team who are going to come here, they're going to try and smack you in the mouth, they're going to try and run the ball down your throat.
Yeah.
So we knew that we had to take that away from them first and foremost, and try and make them make plays through the air. And so that went pretty well, but they're going to adjust. They've got some great players, so we knew that Ben was coming back, and we knew how much they were going to want to get him the ball.
Yeah, sure.
So things like that, it's there's, as I say, it's a mix, and it's one of those things as coach, you've got to find that balance, right? What do you want?
No, definitely. And what a spectacle having the fans here. Do you think this is something that you're going to try and roll in year on year and get this because it's gone down so well?
Yeah, I hope so. Today was amazing. Really appreciative to all the fans who came down. They helped really create this atmosphere that helped. It's a 1-point game, and having a crowd like that behind your back, that can make the difference.
Definitely.
So. Really grateful to that. I hope it's something we can do year after year. Awesome thing. Appreciate the support from the SU and the uni, and Trent for being gracious guest today.
No, fantastic. That's all from me. Congratulations, coach. Well done.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Which one are you going back? So again, we are going to try and get some of the Warwick Wolves players to come over, but I don't want to interrupt their warm down, especially.
We've just seen it.
Exactly, especially on a cold night. And I tell you what, later on, I wish I did not take my jacket off. I am absolutely freezing. But do you know why I love it? Because that means uni ball's back. That's why. None of this 40 degrees, getting sunburnt in Southampton, live streaming a game. No, I want to be frozen. I want to be able to hand warmers in the pocket. That's the sort of football that I like.
You could tell there from coach though how proud he was of his players. I think he's obviously been here for a couple of years, and there was a real pride there, and I think you get that when you beat a division rival, but one that, like you say, if they've not beaten them for over 1,000 days, and it's always been close, and they've always been knocking on the door. He was so proud of his players, and I love to see that.
And especially on a stage like this, it's obviously we have spoken about it earlier. Like normally things like this, they're normally reserved for Explosion. And obviously Explosion not happening this year because of circumstances with the
things and stuff.
Because of the Birmingham's decision not to do that, the Birmingham SU decision not to do that.
Yep.
But I think this has been very, very interesting to be able to see, if you put it out there, people will come.
Yes, absolutely.
And
like you say that, as a Birmingham alumni, that decision to cancel Explosion, which was for a long time the peak of British American football in terms of putting it on a platform, having the fireworks, having the people down. Crowds of up to 1,000 people. It was a big crowd. So having that turned off is a real shame. But knowing that other clubs and universities are able to put on productions that are at that level now is amazing, and it just shows the growth of the sport in the UK.
And it does happen. It doesn't always have to happen on a Sunday. For example, this Friday coming, I'll say it now, where are we going to be? We're going to be in Bournemouth for Friday Night Lights against Bath Killer Bees. And then on Sunday, I'm not entirely sure where Steve will be. I haven't got that. I forgot where that's. I know where I'll be. I'll be in Exeter as the Demons take on the Pride.
And I will be in Oxford for Oxford versus Reading, Oxford's first game of the season.
First game of the season. There's some teams that are starting very late, and it just seems to be that they are the Gloucestershire Gladiators and then the Oxford Lancers as well. Yeah. Oxford Lancers having a joint practice with the NFL Academy as well, which, hey, that's a step up. That's a big move. That's 100%. How you know that a team is trying to be number one.
Yeah, absolutely. And testing yourself against the best and testing yourself against that quality. I'm excited to see what comes out of Oxford this year in a very challenging division. You know, Brunel putting the points up in this game. They're really.
Again, I wish that we could have the scoreline for Brighton versus Hertfordshire. Yeah. I know that there was a fair few as we do the picks on the rundown. A lot of them have picked Brighton, which I was very surprised by because I'm the only one that picked Hearts. SC doesn't pick his division, and Cam, the Chat GPT, and Jamie all went for Brighton. I can understand if Chat GPT wants to come across and pick against Hearts, but for me, those three at the top of that Southern, I think now with some of the scores coming out of the Northern one, there's a very, very established duel. And I can say this as well because I've got this one locked in. December 8th, right? December 8th. So we've got a while away. People always say, Sport Tank, you don't come to the north. Well, I think he's just found out the UE score. He just found out the UE score. Yeah, Kwame just found out the UE score and he couldn't believe it. Yeah, he can't believe it, yeah. 104-0 people wondering.
They're very nice.
Yeah, so let's say Sport Tank doesn't come to the north. Well, I'm going to Preston because it's UCLan Northumbria and I need to be there.
That's going to be a hell of a ball game.
I can't wait. So that'll be UCLan hosting.
I would go as far as to say that's probably at the Div 1 level the best game of the regular season.
Yeah, well, I'd say for me, and don't take any offence to this, Hearts, it's probably for me Oxford Brunel.
Yeah.
And Northumbria versus UCLan. Yeah. I think when the playoffs come, I think when Bournemouth gets sort of added into that Southern one mix, I think that's going to be an interesting one. But for me, in terms of an interdivisional, give me that all day. Yeah. Give me UCLan Northumbria all day long. Again, last year we thought we were going to get it in the playoffs. Both teams very dominant in their division, but UCLan the last few seasons they've not been able to see out a season. Yeah. They've always had something go wrong. We saw it to the point of 2 years ago when they had to even withdraw from games. Yeah. But last year going into the playoffs, didn't quite have it. I thought it was going to be potentially the playoff match. Derby ended up beating UCLan. Love Derby, by the way, but they took the game away from us. And by us, I mean strictly me. They took the game away from me. And I'm so happy that Coach Bloomfield and the Rams have said, you can come up to Preston. So I'm very, very excellent pleased. I put this.
You'll be less pleased when you got to do the drive.
I put it this. I've never been to Preston. I've never ever been to Preston, and I'm told
wonderful things. I'm sure
wonderful things about Preston. Do any Warwick players want to interview? Any Warwick players? They're all over there. No, they're all walking past me.
Or not.
They're all in the middle still. Might interview some of the old boys. Please don't swear. You've had 4 beers, please don't swear. Unbelievable stuff. I'm going to keep looking up at Steve. He's not getting a time check. Like we're on broadcast television.
Yeah, we're just talking. Everyone's left.
Well, I'll talk about Uniball all day. Oh, we haven't actually got a time check. I'm just waiting. I'm just worried about just waffling. Yeah. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Here
we go. They're coming now. Maybe. I'm hoping that if I just put my mic out.
Number 8. This is who we want. 1. He looks great.
Number
2. He had a ball.
He's walking over to us. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. Yes. You know you're coming.
Get yourself over here. Take this.
I don't want a cameraman. I won't lie.
Right.
Yeah.
So that final drive, which sealed the game for the Wolves.
Yeah.
I felt like you put the team on your back. Just describe. Was there any extra passion going into it, knowing that this was gonna win you the game?
I mean, if you saw yesterday, they tried to get us saying, "No, caption, bleed pink." We came in with effort, had to execute, let them know about. We have to put some respect on Wolves. It was 3rd year here. I know we're getting there. It's just about passion, like keep going. And it's ambition, yeah.
So obviously the Premiership North is going to be looking a lot more interesting tomorrow now that you're both 1-1. What are you saying to the rest of the Prem North now that you've defeated NTU? Now you defeated the Div 1 champions of last year.
Just respect our name, that's it. Respect our name, know who we are. We're coming for everyone. These games, one slip up, ain't everything. We'll know who you are, know who we are.
So now, what do you expect from the rematch with these teams? Last year, the second game was very close, the first one wasn't. Are you expecting it to be this close again? What do you
I
think?
mean, hopefully next game we blow it. It's more sustained win. Offense, we didn't produce much. We won, but offense didn't produce much. Next time, let's seal the game. Seal the game, yeah.
Well, I've got nothing else. Ben, you got anything? Then in that case, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're now 1-1. Well done.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? I'm happy to. I'm all good. So, it's been 1,008 days since the Warwick Wolves last beat the NTU Renegades. You've done it here at BUCS Park. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to this team?
It's been amazing. We were talking literally on Tuesday, on Thursday in training that everything was about creating that new legacy. We're in a new Prem. We're trying to create a new age. We had some rookies there, some rookies. We thought it was a game of attrition. We saw it on the scoreboard. We kept strong. It's absolutely amazing. We're all celebrating. We're all happy.
So obviously this was a huge event. We don't normally see things like this in Uniball.
Yep.
Do you have any like knowledge of what it took to get BUCS Park?
It was a lot of work from our team. So our amazing press, our treasurer, the people at Warwick Sport, it was all communication. We've been advertising all week, all month about it. We've had like PR, media all across our Instagram. We've really been putting in the work for it and was just so happy that it paid off. We got the win as well and we're just happy.
So one thing I've been asking the coaches and the players as well, obviously the second game last year, it was close. The first one wasn't as much. What are you expecting for the fixture next time you match up with NTU at NTU?
I don't know. I can't tell you too much on what NTU will do, but I know that every single game we improve, we get better, we go to our playbook, we develop ourselves as players and as coaches and as a whole team and unit together. So it's going to be another spectacle. It's going to be a show. You're going to all enjoy it. So
ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I've got no more questions. I think Ben's too busy talking. But I'm good. Well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try and get Ben's attention. We're going to quickly sign off and so get out of the Warwick Wolves' way. But ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure it was to be here at BUCS Park. You know, personally and professionally, an absolute highlight. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the score. The score, Warwick 7, NTU 6 here at BUCS Park. And what a game it has been. From me, Tebs, from Ben.
Thank you very much for having me.
From Kwame, from Steve up there. From even Marianne who was on the cameras.
Indeed.
Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with you tomorrow for the rundown. We've got a lot to discuss. It'll be between 7 and 8. It'll be 7:30, 8 or 7 because Jamie lives in Qatar. I don't know what you want me to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, next Friday we will be back. Bournemouth versus Bath. And then I think we've got another one on Sunday, but I'm doing Exeter versus SGS. I have been Tebs. This has been Sport Tag. The Warwick Wolves 7. The NTU Renegades 6. Goodbye.